This episode is brought to you in collaboration with The Byline, an independent online news platform delivering credible and in depth coverage across business, finance, sports, and more. You can check them out at www.thebyline.in for insightful news and stories that keep you informed.
Hello and welcome to the Legends and Lads Cricket Podcast. And this episode is really very interesting because this will take you back in time to the Benson and Hedges Cup of the 1985. So, Vijay sir, today we'll be talking about this tournament which is like a very valuable tournament in the cricket history. But nowadays, people have seem to have forgotten about this because I have asked many of my friends, "Do you know about the Benson and Hedges Cup?" And many of them are like, "I don't know what is it. What are you talking about?" So, just tell the viewers, how important this tournament was back in the day.
Oh, it was Maitreya, if you remember, 1983 India won the World Cup,
Yes,
and then 84 India won the Asia Cup in Sharjah.
yes, yes.
So it was team was on a roll, and they went to World Championship of Cricket, 1985 in Australia. That is what it was called. It was organized by the Victoria Cricket Association. An amazing impact it had on the young cricket lovers in India because 1983 very hardly there was any telecast. India could watch the semi-final against England and the final against the West Indies. Similarly, Sharjah, but from Australia, it changed the whole perspective of how you watch cricket because you were introduced to some amazing range of Australian commentators and and also the stadiums. They were so beautiful. Uh, Indians got to watch. Plus the fact that since the light there is so good, the view, the telecast view was brilliant. So it was the 1985. I should tell you, I was once asked to compare, and I thought uh, I did create a debate by saying that the 1985 team was better than the 1983 team.
And sir, when I asked my parents about what do you remember from the 1985 this Benson and Hedges Cup, the one thing that stood out was the Audi car that was gifted to Ravi Shastri. So that is what they remember at the top of the mind. So talk about how valuable Ravi Shastri was because we at this generation we know Ravi Shastri as a commentator, as the one who commented the during the 2011 winning shot or any of the IPL matches he's there. So that is how we know him. But as a player, how ferocious and destructive he was. So you should talk us, on that.
I think Ravi Shastri was amazing, amazing for the simple reason that he was not very talented. He worked on his talent, he worked on his game, and went on to establish himself in the team as a dependable all rounder. He was bowling left arm spin, and from tail end he went on to open the innings for India. So you can imagine how important he was, and all the while he kept on improving. He was always remember a thorn for the opposition. His own team drew so much of confidence from him, and he went on to deliver in very crucial matches. At the end of the tournament in Australia, he was crowned the champion of champions. And if you see, people did not like, they didn't appreciate his style of batting because he would, uh, he would block the ball if need be, and they were not. And he had a very limited range of shots, which he later improved and came to play almost every shot in the game. So Ravi Shastri, to me, is one of the finest cricketers world has seen, and among the greatest cricketers in India for his contribution as a player, as an all-rounder, as a captain, he won a test match against the West Indies at Chennai. And please remember, he has contributed so much as a commentator and then as a coach. So Ravi Shastri was. There were times when people did not like the way he batted. He was too slow, and there would be chants of Ravi Shastri high high. But he would he would draw strength on those from the criticism in the stands and produce match-winning knocks or match-winning spells.
Yes, sir. And then now talk about Krishnamacharya Srikkanth, because his batting, they say, is very fearless, and we couldn't see it firsthand, but you obviously know how fearless his batting was. So talk about how that his batting gave the momentum to this whole Indian batting setup of those days.
Srikanth was very vital to Indian cricket. You're right about the fact that he was fearless. He was fearless as an under 19 batsman also. I saw him smash the Pakistan attack in Delhi. It was an under 19 series. And it was the kind of batting which would leave you shocked, which would leave you delighted at the range. He would just step out and hit the fast bowler over the top. I mean, it was not many would have done that. And later on, he did it to the West Indian bowlers, to the Australian bowlers, and remember at the other end was Mr. Gavaskar, who was just the opposite of what Srikanth was. Who he would not um, he would play the ball on merit, but Srikanth would smash the best ball which he faced into the stands, and those lofted shots. He was the first to actually introduce, or maybe the first time Indian audience came to watch the lofted shots over the infield, hitting fast bowlers on the rise, stepping out to fast bowlers as if they were spinners. So Srikanth was amazing. He was a great entertainer, and every moment that he spent at the crease was he put fear in the mind of the bowlers, and he also gave fear in the mind of the dressing room also, because they would fear he would get out any ball. But that was Srikanth's game. He was a great entertainer.
Sir, and then coming to the bowling department of the Indian team. So I was not familiar with many names, but obviously Kapil Dev I knew, and Kapil Dev I know is very vital. But also talk about Laxman Sivaramakrishnan, because his name was mentioned and highlighted for his performance in the semi-finals against New Zealand, and in the overall in the tournament also his performance is really good. So talk about Lakshman Sivaramakrishnan in particular, and also about how Kapil Dev guided the whole bowling lineup.
Kapil Dev was, we all saw what Kapil Dev could do in 1983. We saw him, I mean, he made his debut in 78. So this was 7 years after he had made his international debut. And he was as good as any bowler in the world. But this thing about Lakshman Sivaramakrishnan coming and shining in ODIs as a spinner was basically Mr. Gavaskar's idea, because he was convinced that his bowling skills would be very good on Australian pitches, where he would get turned, he would get bounce, and that's what Sivaramakrishnan proved. He was almost unplayable. He was getting wickets at almost at will. He was best against Pakistan, who was supposed to play spin very well. He was very good, like to say, against New Zealand. And Sivaramakrishnan emerged uh, a big strength for India. It was not that he was 1 year into international cricket. Remember, he made his debut in '84. '83 he went to the West Indies, but '84 he made his debut in against England in India. So Sivaramakrishnan was one of the bowlers who was welcomed because he brought a lot of variety, and he had to do well as a bowler. And also remember that he was a fantastic fielder. I mean, he was among the best fielders we have ever had.
Sir, and then talk about the finals, because it was an India Pakistan finals, And as usual, the rivalry more than these days, I believe those days the rivalry was more equal because the players were also of very great. They could give more competition, I would say, than compared to nowadays. So talk about the India-Pakistan finals and how India brushed aside Pakistan in that finals because already in the group stage we had defeated them, and again in the finals we had defeated them. So talk about the India-Pakistan game.
Maitreya, if you remember, it was both the wins were very convincing. Both times, the victories were built on the strength of India's bowlers and excellent fielding because if you remember, some outstanding catches were taken in the deep because Australia has very big grounds, large grounds, and not always you could clear the field. So there were so many catches in the deep, which the Indians took. So that fielding was a strong point, and some exceptional wicket keeping by Sadanand Vishwanath. Uh, he was he was the one who was backing the spinners. If you see the scoreboard in one of the matches, it will say some batsman I'm forgetting his name. Caught Sadanand Vishwanath, bowled Madan Lal, but the scoreboard will not tell you the Sadanand Vishwanath was standing up because he thought he stood a better chance of he stood close to the stump. So that was an amazing catch he took. Plus the stumpings which he brought up against the Pakistanis. It was to me a perfect Indian team. There was no weak link. Good all-rounders, good spinners, batting deep, and they had gone to win the tournament, and they proved it with that one-sided final. I mean, it was a thoroughly one-sided final, which was good for which left Pakistani's heart broken, but India celebrated for many days.
And sir, talking about this fact that after India won the 1983 World Cup, India got the recognition, I would say, or that kind of a respect among being the top cricket teams. But many still felt that the win in 1983 was a kind of a fluke. That's what many felt at that time. But many also say that the win in the Benson and Hedges Cup of 1985 really cemented India's status, they would say, in the like as one of the top tier teams of those days, and really gave India the status like the powerhouse of cricket. So, do you believe in this fact that after this tournament's victory, India was given more recognition and India got more respect compared to the 1983 World Cup?
In 1983 World Cup cannot be compared because nobody gave India any chance. Remember, and the tournament was held in England, so 60 overs aside, India had a battery of all-rounders who performed in the 83 World Cup. From that team, Sandeep Patil could not find a place in the 1985 team. So it was, you can imagine how Kirti Azad could not find a place in the 1985 team. I think 85 kind of put a stamp on India's ability. They came to accept that yes, India has adapted to this white ball cricket, uh, night cricket, because we saw the day-night matches giving a very different, uh, what should I say, perspective of the game. It was something not seen here, and that's how the day-night cricket became very popular. The Australian commentators made the game very popular with their fantastic commentary. I mean, imagine Richie Beno and Bill Lawry sitting and talking about the talented Indians. It was a tournament which kind of gave a big push to limited overs cricket in the world.
Yes, sir. And finally, I would want to ask you, who would you rate more, Sunil Gavaskar, the batsman, or Sunil Gavaskar, the captain? Because Sunil Gavaskar is more of seen as one of the greatest batsmen of that era. But his captaincy also proved to be very vital in this tournament. So, just rate, who would you rate more and why?
I would say batsman because he began his career as a batsman. I mean, this came much later. There were times he could get the best out of the players. But please remember that he was batting against the best of fast bowlers, scoring runs all over the world, batting without helmet. It's very easy to say, oh, there were no helmets at that time and blah, blah, blah. But still, to go out and face all those ferocious fast bowlers or the skillful fast bowlers, he would have had some skills. And he has never spoken about his skills. He always talks about the skills of other bowlers or other batsmen. But for me, Mr. Gavaskar, the batsman, comes ahead of captain. Yes, he was known to encourage youngsters, whether he was playing for Bombay, West Zone, rest of India, or India. So Gavaskar's place in Indian history is unmatched. Then you have, please don't forget Kapil Dev. I mean, Kapil Dev was the one who gave you that confidence. He brought the 83 win, which changed the face of Indian cricket. So, one of the greatest all-rounders, you can say. He took 400 plus wickets, scored 5,000 plus runs. It is something. And he was also rated very, very high by Mr. Gavaskar, who called him one of the finest he has seen. So, to me, Gavaskar, the batsman, would always be ahead of Gavaskar, the captain. And remember that WCC, he had said, was going to be, he had given indication, and that was his farewell as a captain.
Yes, sir. So this will bring you to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, Vijay sir, for taking us back to the time when we weren't even born, so that we can, get a glimpse of how it was those days and how glorious Indian cricket's beginning, I should say, was. Thank you once again for taking us back to those days. And this will bring you to the end of the episode. Thank you.